We spent a few days hanging out with the locals at Soldier Key before leaving the berries and heading to Eleuthera. To Eleuthera. Gorgeous water. Amazing. There's Nate scouting out our anchorage. Got another big blow coming tonight and all day tomorrow, so we want to make sure that we're nice and tucked up. So we're all a little tired. We woke up at 2:30 this morning and pulled anchor and headed out across the tongue of the ocean. We went over some water that was over 10,000 feet deep. Incredible. We had a beautiful sail. We were doing 7 knots on about 10 knots of wind.
Dad said the 10,000 feet here.
No, there's a place on the chart that said 43,000 feet, and Nate is very skeptical. I didn't think that was quite right, but there's definitely places 9,000, 10,000, 12,000 feet that is legitimate. But we had a gorgeous sail, really nice calm water. We made great time, and
like about 3 knots.
No, we did. We were doing 6, 7 knots. Between 5 and 7 knots the whole way on pretty light winds, so we feel pretty good about it, and it looks like this is going to be a great place to hole up and spend a few days or weeks. How's it going, honey?
All right.
What do you see over there?
So it's a huge shoreline, 10 feet of sand, 10 feet water sand. We go over there, carve ourselves out a spot, put out a bunch of chain, we'll be fine.
Awesome.
Okay, I broke the generator in my never-ending effort to get air out of the fuel line, which I think I may have gotten over here, at least on the engine. It has run the last several days anyway. I broke the generator. I was manually bleeding it, which I shouldn't have done in the first place. I broke the fuel line. I put torque on it when I shouldn't have. I mean, just the whole housing moved, not the bolt I wanted to move. Ultimately, that was my fault. So I'm gonna try to fix it. So I am going to attempt to get these guys on, which are the injection lines. I gotta get these off because I gotta get this line out, which is the return. And then I've got somebody in Spanish Wells who hopefully can braze this for me. This return fuel line goes boop boop, boop. What I really want to do, I got to twist this to get it out of here. And I want to do that. This should twist with this not moving, but I'm nervous about it. I really don't want to break this because this would be a whole nother part, whole nother hassle. I hope to be very gentle and loving on these bolts, and I hope that they are not stuck and they twist where they need to twist, and so I don't create another problem. We'll see. What happened is what I thought. This comes up, does not place torque on that. It's gonna work. I'm gonna fix this today. It's gonna be awesome. I'm gonna make water today. It'll be awesome. Should I go ahead and take that nut off? Sure, I should go ahead and take that nut off. 20 minutes in, I've got one nut off. Maybe successfully getting the part off. Going out in the storm to see if I can get it brazed. Generator could work by sunset. It worked. There were a few tense moments while I bent the fuel line back to the exact shape I needed, but it all came back together and the Jenny has been purring like a kitten ever since. This was a big victory for me as I thought I might need new parts and professional help, and in the end I learned a lot and it just cost me time, a new screw, and $20 for brazing.
The next day, we went provisioning in Spanish Wells and stumbled on the most beautiful beach we've ever seen. After soaking up some tranquility, we headed home, just in time for the sunset. We sailed over to Egg Island, a tiny uninhabited key west of Spanish Wells, in order to stage for an early morning departure to the Exumas. Egg Island was quiet and serene, just what we needed before our slalom south. Wow, that's beautiful. The morning brought strong winds and swift sailing. Scout peaked out at 9.5 knots, our fastest to date. The wind settled as we made our way further south, but the hard part of the journey still lay ahead. When we bought Scout, we knew we wanted to travel off the beaten path. But sometimes, places are less traveled for a reason. Few sailors approach the Exumas from the north like we are, because the bank there is a landmine of large coral heads, and it takes hours to navigate. But we had calm seas, bright noonday sun, and good spotters. Perfect conditions for weaving our way through the bommy field.
I am going to do local cuisine for dinner, something that I hope to make a habit. All you do is combine a little flour, a little milk, a couple eggs, whisk that together, and then you throw in the filling. So you got garlic, onions, celery, bell pepper, the conchs themselves, some cayenne, salt, pepper, and then going to fry it in oil. Alright, here we are a couple minutes later. Just combined the things that will make the binding and chopped up the pepper, celery, onion, and the conch. I'm going to mince the garlic in and then just sprinkle in salt and pepper. And there you have it. Believe it or not, you're looking at a couple dozen conch fritters. It's sort of amazing. I mean, this batter congeals and comes up with a nice fritter. What it does, go to the bottom and then they'll pull it up to the top. And that is that. Yumminess. And here it is, the composed dish. We've got a simple salad underneath, a very simple sauce that I put on top, and I think very delicious conch fritters.